me who is about to start making the bonnet. I have all my goods. I have a notebook. This is like my notebook where or one of my notebooks where I write down things that I do, because sometimes I do want to remake things. I used to never do that. I always just made something one time and I freehanded it, and I never wrote down any measurements or any amount of stitches, but I started doing that. So I'm also gonna keep this here, and I'm gonna write down everything that I do so that I can actually make this tutorial, because otherwise it will be quite hard. My memory is not as good anymore as 4 years ago. Okay, so I have this very, very useful. I have my beloved scissors that I had since I started crocheting, and my hook. This is my all-time favorite hook. When I started crocheting, I did everything with this hook. This is a 4.5, and I felt like every yarn that I had, I used to only crochet with acrylic yarn. I know. I mean, I just don't like acrylic anymore. I bet there's also acrylic in the yarn that I will use. I was gonna say, actually, acrylic yarn is not bad, or like blends are absolutely not bad. I just prefer now to knit with more like wool-based yarns. But obviously, I also use a lot of blends with mohair and also acrylic in it. It's totally fine, but I used to like only knit with acrylic, and it just makes like this squeaky little noise. I don't know, but it's super easy to begin with. Like, it's a really easy yarn to start crocheting, and it's not expensive at all normally. But anyways, I used to only knit with this, and then I also had like a tinier, like this little pouch, a tinier crochet hook of like 3, and those were the only, I can't find it. Those were the only 2 hooks that I used. So I'm gonna use this one again because the yarn that I have is quite thick. So tools, and obviously the yarn. I'm super excited. This is the first time I'm gonna use this yarn to actually like make a garment, and I got this yarn at the secondhand store, and I don't know if you can see it from this far, but it has like a shimmer in it, and I also have it in like a darker pink, but I really like these blues together, so I want to make the bigger part of the balaclava, or like the bonnet, this dark blue, and then I want to do the scalloped trimming on the sides and maybe add some pearls, because I've seen people do that and I think it's really cute. And then on top I want to make the bonnet maybe more like these, like with a long scarf. Then I saw this like other girl with her name here, and she made this balabonnet, and I actually am really excited to also make that, because what is better than a bonnet with a scarf already attached to it? So I'll try that, and I'm actually thinking of doing that with black and white, because I do think the black and white will be nice in contrast with these colors. But we'll see what comes out of it, because I always just start and I'll always see where I'll go. Like, my mind just switches up so fast. So I will just start with this yarn, and I'm gonna freehand this. I'm just gonna freehand this. I'm gonna make a slip stitch. Is that how you call it? I'm really bad at using terms, so I'm so sorry for that. And I'm just gonna see how much I need to like go around my head. I don't want it to be like super big. I want it to be quite fitting, because I do think it's cute. So I'm just gonna start, and I'm gonna make myself comfortable. Okay, I have 70 stitches now. Like, I do think it's gonna look ridiculous. I do feel like this is like good, like 70. And I'm gonna do a single crochet because ever since I started knitting, I really like the tiny stitch it has, or like the view of it, I would say. And when I crochet, I used to always do like a double crochet, but it's just like a different look, you know? And with like a single crochet, it actually is also cute, in my opinion. I don't know. I first wanted to knit this, but I'm just way more skilled with crocheting than hand knitting. Even though like I could do it for myself, but I really want to make like a tutorial because it's just really nice to have a tutorial like this. I think if it's gonna be a good tutorial, you let me know that. Let me know if this is gonna be a good tutorial. So 70 stitches in single crochet. I used to be super good at crocheting, I feel like. Or like I did it on a daily basis. And then I discovered knitting, or like knitting on the machine, because in the previous video I said I studied textile design, so we also learn all sorts of techniques. And I was introduced to the knitting machine, and ever since I fell in love. But because of that, I kind of neglected crocheting because I really liked the look of knitting, and I felt kind of sad because I really loved crocheting. I was really good at freehand crocheting, but I stopped for like so long, and now I finally have picked it up again because I was searching for something that I can just do without thinking. Because with knitting, I have to be so cautious of what I'm doing, like hand knitting with like with needles, and with crocheting I can just watch things, make tutorials, because I just am way more skilled in this. I just graduated and I really liked it. I loved it so much to study it. It's really interesting to learn all the techniques. I think my least favorite one is hand weaving. I hate hand weaving. I'm not good at it. I just don't understand it. The only weaving that I like is jacquard weaving, because in my head it's kind of similar to using like not the computer on the knitting machine, but you can just form illustrations that you make into textiles via like Photoshop, and then you weave it out. And the weaving machine, like the loom, basically like does it by itself. You just have to pull through your yarns, you know. And I just really like that. And you can also use like different colors, and it's just more illustrative. My work is really illustrative, so that's why I really like it. I don't know, is this interesting for like that I do this? I love rambling. Otherwise I would just talk to myself. I'm just gonna continue and come back when I finish like the base, and then I will talk to you again. I have a small update. This is how much I have so far. I think I have been crocheting now for an hour, roundabout, I think, and I have 10 rows, but it's really nice. I really like the glitter that is in it. It's super subtle. It gives a nice extra detail into it. So I can't wait actually to finish it. So now I think I need to do like maybe 50 extra, and then I will start, I think, in the middle somewhere, crochet further, and then, you know, but we're not there yet. I'm just gonna continue this and see where I get today. It's now almost 2 o'clock, and I still have time to crochet this. I'm very excited for it. I once made a knit balaclava. Actually, no, my very first balaclava bonnet kind of thing that I made was actually also one with a scarf attached to it. I will show you a picture here somewhere. And it was also my first piece where I felt it on it, or felt on it. And it's really nice, but the yarn is very, very thick, so it feels a bit too much like a helmet. So I never really wear it. I also think it's a little bit too low here. That's why I also am not making this in the round, because for my previous balaclava I didn't really like the look of that, so that's why I am doing it the way I made a knit balaclava. Beginning, when balaclavas came to the surface, or like not to the surface, but they were like really trending like a couple of years ago, and I made my first balaclava, but I just felt like it was not cute on me. It was not how I would have pictured it. So I never really wore it, and then I never really gave it like a chance anymore, because I felt like I'd rather wear a beanie, or I also used to wear like berets. But now, like last year, I decided to knit one on my knitting machine, and I actually really liked it. So I ended up wearing it a lot in winter. And I do want to make another version of that one, because it's really cute. It has the little underwear pattern again, and I really like the color combination. I was obsessed with the color combination. I want to make a new version of it because it's quite long, so I always wear it in my jacket and I like tie my scarf around it. But I think if it would be like one row shorter, it would be more snug around my head, which I feel like I really want with a balaclava. I really like Coraline. Coraline is my favorite movie of all time. It's amazing. Actually, this kind of reminds me of like the night in Coraline, now that I think about it. So maybe I want to watch Coraline. Or The Witches is also a very good one, but I don't know if I want to watch the older new version. I think the old version is very nice as well, but the new one is also very good. I will again continue crocheting and come back. Like, you see how I went like this instead of here? I went straight like this, and then I went like a little bit off the road kind of, so I wouldn't have like these pointies. And I did that on both sides, like as you can see. We are at the end of the video, which also means that the balaclava is completely finished. I have not finished it like on camera because I'm way better at drawing my tutorials than at actually explaining things. When I have to explain things, I just start rambling, and it's super difficult. Like, I hope it was clear with the illustrations that I have made, but it's a very simple tutorial, and I want to show it to you first, and then we will talk about it a little bit more, and I will explain a bit more in depth. of how I made it. Even though I'm bad at explaining it, I do think maybe it's nice if I would do it anyway. So give me a second to put it on. But first, here is the end result. It's so cute. And also with the pink detailing, I added pearls on it. It's so cute. I have not worn it yet. But I really want to. I really, really want to wear it. But it's so pretty. I added yellow pearls, and then at the bottom, I added these pink ones. I'm obsessed. So I'm gonna put it on for you. So this is it on. Look, it's perfect. It fits. My bangs are very ugly right now. I'm sorry. But it fits like a glove. I'm super, super happy with it. Like the side and like around the head is definitely very, very good. Very, very, I don't know. I freehanded this very nicely, but thank God I wrote down everything so I could make a little tutorial about this bonnet. But I love it. I also love the idea of mixing techniques. So crochet, bonnet piece, and then the scarf is knitted, which I feel like also makes it very how do you say it? Like, I don't know. Let me explain. So you can also just wear it as a cap or like as a hood, but I don't know. I wouldn't do it. But let me just take it off to be a little bit more precise. And maybe I can also clip my microphone. Okay, microphone is clipped. So what I was like saying, because I used different techniques on this, I really wanted to crochet the base because I'm a bit better at crocheting like this freehand stuff than knitting. And then basically the scarf of a bonnet doesn't really matter. Like, I love that this is like a really choose what you want kind of piece. You can also make this way shorter or way longer, way thicker, way thinner. Basically, you're as free to do what you want with this scarf as long as it keeps you warm. So I opted for knitting on a machine because I just love making scarves on a knitting machine, and I just don't have the patience personally to knit a scarf with needles, but you can totally do that. You can totally knit a scarf with needles. You can also crochet this. It's more how you prefer it. It's really how you like it, and the only thing is that you just have to attach it. But that's super easy, that you just like crochet or sew even on. It doesn't really matter how you do it, as long as it's attached. That's why the hood part is more short, because I wanted personally to be the scarf a bit longer. So keep in mind, if you do the scarf a bit thinner, it will be a bit more higher on your face, on your chin. But that's fine. I mean, the most difficult part is basically the hood. And as you can see, what I was like explaining, and it turned out like a perfect egg shape. So, you know, there's not really a tutorial on how to go off that thing. You just kind of have to feel the shape and then you'll be fine. I mean, if it's not fine, if it's not how you want it, you can just basically super easily unravel it. That's the beauty in crocheting, I would say. And then you can also choose if you add little pearl beads or not. I just thought it was cute, but it's not necessary. This is a base bonnet. You do whatever you want with the base. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Use your imagination, or what you like, what you want, what you need. That's why knitting and crocheting is so fun, because you can decide yourself what you want. So the end results, I love it. It's super, super fun. The only thing is, I feel like maybe my pearls could be a bit better attached. I mean, I was too lazy to constantly cut the thread and put on a new thread, so I went a bit like, you know, it's like a star, how how do you say it in English? I don't know. You know, when you look at the sky in the night, and then you have like the, how do you call this? Where you can see like the little bear and stuff. Is it called like that in English as well? I have no idea. Anyways, very, very, very cute. I love the brightness of the pink. So I hope it was interesting and helpful, this tutorial, and I hope you also really liked the little bit of like a chatty part that I did, because when I knit I have a lot of thoughts, or crochet, I'm sorry, I was crocheting. Yeah, but definitely let me know if you thought this tutorial was helpful, and if you have made a bonnet using this tutorial, I would really love to see it. So you can always tag me with my Instagram. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!